games, and then you have Sonic fan games. The difference being that most fan games are just in light of a series that you like. Some Sonic fan games are something beyond that, either something overdone, something completely weird, or in this case, something done right. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about, of course, Sonic GT, a fan-made game that was released on Game Jolt, and that is like a spiritual successor to the Sonic Adventure line. It feels like the third game in that run, and my god is it so smooth. I loved playing this game. Granted, I did not beat the game, however, it has a lot to offer, from fully voiced lines.
Okay, here we are, Hilltop Zone. I'm kinda nostalgic.
Nah, Green Hill's better.
With having multiple characters to play as, which at the time of recording for me was Sonic and Mighty, and it has something that's a favorite of mine, which is your time trials, which allows you to approach each level differently than you would on, say, your adventure mode, which that's the main bulk of the game is the adventure mode, but it's nice to have these little side things to do to kind of fill up time if you're not really wanting to do an adventure, or if you're trying to find something secret. There's a lot of fun to be had with this game. And you can tell a lot of time went into making it, because it genuinely feels like almost nostalgic. It feels like you're playing Sonic Adventure, like the next installment, as if it was just being released on the Dreamcast, but obviously it looks a lot better. That's another thing too, like graphically it looks insane. And the smoothness of the controls, followed by like sometimes the watery feel of the stage, because the early Sonic Adventure games, like before they were revamped and all that, it did kind of feel slippery, and it has that, but it's also so smooth that it feels better too. It feels like the way it should. Let me just put it like that. It feels like the way it should. And you have a lot of tricks like grinding rails, you have wall dashing, spin dashing, you also have light dashing for rings, and the homing dash, which is the classic, the staple. With the emphasis perfectly on speed, even giving you a speedometer to look at as you're cruising through each stage. And a little bit of where the fuck do I go? It really, I cannot stress this enough. It feels like a backlogged game, like a game that was supposed to release that Sega just held on to, and then at some point randomly, they're just like, hey, here you go. But that's not what happened. This was like a sole developer who did this, and that's insane to me. So honestly, for look, feel, playability, replayability, going back and challenging yourself to do levels differently, all that stuff, it's definitely, for me, it's like perfect score. This is like the Sonic game that we needed as like a fan base, not those weird ones, like the one with the sword, or where he's a werewolf. We don't fucking need that. Well, anyways, aside from all that, let's check in to who was the mastermind behind this game, Sonic GT. So the mind behind it was Gabriel Gonzalez, along with multiple patchworks and... wait, what is that? I gotcha. It's a twofer. So Gabriel Gonzalez along with Curiomatic have been working on this game. Rollin' Rascal, which is inspired by games like Sonic and Super Mario Brothers, and basically it's gonna be insane. It's already a lot of fun. You can customize your Rascal. There's already a slew of options, and it's only in the demo phases. There's gonna be an online multiplayer, time attack. There's going to be so many different things you can do. Well, how's the gameplay? Smooth, just like you'd expect. It's really smooth. If anything, they ramped it up to 11 with this. you have a slew of attacks just like you did in Sonic GT. You have the same amount of things, however, there are some things that differ. With the slew of things to do, like using your environment, drop kicking, you can rail switch, which is a lot of fun, and you can go into a little ball form, and in that form you can rev up, sort of like your spin dash, and you can override enemies, which allows you to break certain objects that you wouldn't be able to as just your rascal. And right here is an example of one of the multiplayer maps, which I didn't get to connect with anybody, but I don't think you can, considering it's just in the demo phases. It looks like it's going to be more attack oriented, like a battle royale, like maybe a free-for-all or something, but there are also ramps and things you can do to speed up, which is going to make for interesting bouts and interesting competition. So I'm excited to see what that turns into. With vast and interesting level design and fluid gameplay and a banger soundtrack, I definitely think that Rollin' Rascal is going to be worth its weight in gold. It's going to be a hefty competitor, so I'm definitely excited to see what happens on release and what we end up getting and how the servers work, and if it's going to be all puzzles or if it's going to be structured like this, like a race, because this was one of the maps too that I wanted to showcase. I am definitely excited to see where it heads to and how much it grows, because I definitely think this is going to be something big. I mean, there's not really many games like it. There's been like a semi-revival with the trilogy of like Spyro and Crash Bandicoot remakes, with things coming back that were, I guess, old school now, considering they're about 20 years old. But even still, it's going to be amazing. And because of that, honestly, I think that you should give both of these games a shot. I mean, if you're not that much of a Sonic fan, then just try Rollin' Rascal. Maybe that'll be a little bit more up your alley, especially with the customization. It's definitely going to be so cool to see how it grows, and I can't wait. So with that, thank you all for watching. I appreciate you all, and 1K gang, let's go.